Normal shatter.
Hammer down!
Okay.
Hammer down!
Normal jump shatter. Top. Walking shatter.
Hammer down!
So right off that level, let's just do, I'll show you the 3 shatters from first person. Normal shatter.
Hammer down!
Jump shatter.
Hammer down!
Walking shatter.
Hammer down!
Oh man, that's nice. The way these texts work. If you press space and jump at the exact same time, you can do what I'm calling a walking shatter. Normally when you shatter, just walking, you stop for a second and then keep walking. You can get around that by jumping, as we know. A good old classic jumping shatter. But there's still that little moment where you stop. The walking shatter, pressing Q and space at the exact same time, you just don't stop. Not only that, normally with a jump shatter, there's a lot of hang time in the air. It gives the enemy Reinhardt a lot of time to block it. I have accidentally done many a jump shatter, mixing up the shield hopping timing with shattering, and ended up in the air, giving the enemy Reinhardt a lot of time to stop it. However, the good part about jump shattering is if you have a Lucio to speed you boost you past the shield, you can just right behind them. That was a walking shatter. You can get right past them, no problem. The walking shatter completely negates that because watch the timing of the jump shatter. There's the timing of the jump shatter. Here is the timing of a normal shatter. Shorter. Here's the timing of the walking shatter. Same as the normal shatter. The jump shatter can hypothetically have a lot of hang time, which isn't good if you're far away. Jump shatter or walking shatter can just completely negate that. You shatter midair. It's bananas. You could just like be shield hopping at someone and then go for the walking shatter and just be inside of them, right up in their face. You don't even need to do that. You can just hold left click and then bam, you're just inside of them. There's nothing they can do. You need a little bit of momentum. Now, an interesting thing. The way this walking shatter works is very particular. You're essentially tricking the game into thinking that you should be landing on the ground when you're mid-air, which gives you a total freedom. You can also do wild things with this. You have total freedom. Like here, let me show you me strafing while doing it. You can strafe. You can just like have full movement. You can go into strafing from it, like just like immediately you have full movement. Like you can't be stopped. It's stupid. You can do it backwards. You can do it forwards. Here, let me show you backwards. Imagine this guy just doing that. If there's a Reinhardt walking left click at you, normally to stop shatter, he could just sidestep it easily. If you pull out a walking shatter, it's too fast for him to. Well, you could react to it, but like it's very difficult. It's as difficult as a normal shatter as opposed to a jump shatter. Hard to react to, and you have the full movement. You can almost guarantee that you're going to be able to connect to him. And so like the only movement that's really restricted is your camera. Like the camera does stop. Here, I'll do just a little panning motion so you can get a clear image of the camera stopping. That was not it. There. You saw how my camera stopped. That was me just doing a normal pan. It did stop there because it's shattered. So that's the only thing that's restricted. Your camera stops just a little bit during a normal shot, just like a normal shatter. But your movement is completely free. No stop. It's insane. Strafing, anything, going backwards if you so choose, like just you can't be stopped. You're insane, and you just shove anyone out of your way. That's another interesting thing about this walking shatter I discovered. Normally, when you're here walking at someone, you can't move them around. You can't move the enemy around. They're just stationary. You can't do jack all about them. If you jump shatter, you can move them a little. You can shove them a little. Hard to see, but you can. Walking shatter shoves them even more. Because you have that total freedom of movement, there's more frames of Reinhardt actually moving to shove someone out of the way. I have a clip where I haven't been able to replicate it since. I tried a lot, but I was able to shove my friend. I was able to shove them way far back. Listen to
Hammer down!
what the frick?
I don't know what happened.
I was able to shove her way far back. It was wild. I haven't been able to replicate that kind of level, but there is more shove. I don't know how... It could hypothetically be useful if you want to, like, shove the Reinhardt out of the way, and then if someone's here, you can just shove them back just a little bit to keep them in shatter range. Kind of. It kind of shoves them into it a little bit. Like, it doesn't feel like they should. It doesn't feel like that should connect, but because you're shoving them just a little forward, I think that might be making a difference. Here is a side-by-side of the jump shatters movement of enemies and the walking shatters movement of enemies.
Hammer down! Hammer down! Hammer down! Hammer down! Hammer down! Hammer down! Hammer down!
So the way this walking shatter works is you're essentially tricking the game into thinking that you should connect to the ground while midair. Like that. But the timing is, or not the timing, I guess the timing, yeah, but the specific steps are very precise, because if you are on even any slightly higher of an elevation than being purely flat, it doesn't work. It goes into this weird glitch where the hammer, like even this ledge is high enough. High enough elevation change right here, I'll show you. Watch. Right there. That's the game going into doing the walking shatter, realizing that it's midair because you're just high enough for it to realize that that's something odd is happening, and then it corrects itself, resets the animation, and then you go into a normal jump shatter. It's wild. And you can't do so that means you can't do the walking shatter going down because the game realizes what you're doing, it fixes itself. You can't do it going up because you hit the ground like this. You hit the ground, and so just, yeah, it stops you. You go into a normal shatter. You can only do it walking on even ground, which makes it a bit more niche, but it's still insanely powerful. That is not it. There's the glitch shatter. Glitch shatter only works, from what I can tell, from a ledge. There we go, yeah. It only works if you're going from a ledge, but even if it's as tiny of a ledge as this, it totally works. It's fascinating. It's such a very precise sort of change in things. I doubt this is going to stay in the game. I guarantee they're going to patch this out. I hope they keep the little Bunnyhop, though. I messed that up. I like the Bunnyhop. This next tech is a lot less practical than the walking shatter, but interesting nonetheless. First, let me show you that I am in practice range 2.2 by PMA jellies. And I've changed it so that all the cooldowns and ultimate generation time is as it would be in a normal game of Overwatch. 100% all across the board. So I've discovered that in the brief window of time, after pressing Q and before your hammer hits the ground, you can get ultimate charge. If you press Q right before a firestrike hits an enemy, you can get ultimate charge. Right now I have 6% ultimate, I shouldn't have it there. And now it's starting to tick up again because I'm passively generating ultimate again. If you're too close to an enemy, you'll be locked in the firestrike animation and you'll be able to get the shatter off in time to get ultimate charge. I was holding down Q there and it didn't go off until right then. Got no ultimate charge from that firestrike. If you're too far away, the shatter won't connect. Didn't get any value there. The sweet spot seems to be around 20 meters, so maybe a bit before, around 19, 18, somewhere around there. Firestrike from here. It'll just be in range for you to go down while your ult charge has gone up a little bit. So, Reinhardt's ultimate costs 1,540 points of damage to charge up. Firestrike does 100, about 6.5% of that. If you shoot it through an amplification matrix, that doubles to 200, just under 13%. If that were to hit all 6 people in the enemy team for full damage, that would be 1,200 damage. Still 340 points, or about 22% short of a shatter. If Mercy damage boosts that Firestrike, that would increase it by 30%, or another 360 damage, putting in the total damage at 1,560 damage, 20 points more than an Earth Shatter would need. However, it would require every character to have at least 260 health. If you do damage to a Lucio's sound barrier, you gain ult charge. So, if your team gets a 6-person grab, the enemy team's Lucio uses beat and hits every person in the grab, you shoot a Firestrike through a window while damage boosted by Mercy, and no characters use any abilities that could negate that damage to any one of them, you could theoretically charge up a second Shatter before your first one even hits the ground. This is an incredibly specific and impractical situation that can only be achieved with a lot of skill, coordination, and luck. However, things get a bit more interesting when you factor Echo into the mix. While duplicated, Echo charges her ultimate 6.5 times faster than the hero typically would. This means that you would need to do only about 237 damage with a firestrike, a three-person firestrike, doable. But if she was being damage boosted by Mercy, she'd only need to hit 2. Double Earth Shatter. An ult combo that usually requires your Reinhardt to use his ultimate alongside yours can now be done with just an Echo ult. You could use it to double the length of a Reinhardt shatter. You could do it to get a second try on a shatter if you miss it, when the enemy least expects it. You could use it to shatter here and then also here. 2 different shatters, same amount on the ground at the same time. It's kind of ridiculous. All you have to do is hit the firestrike with on 2 different people in the time that it takes your hammer to be in the air and hit the ground again. A timing that's even more generous if you go for a jump shatter. Plenty of time to get that double shatter, keep them on the ground that entire length. A double shatter is incredibly situational and really only theoretical, but the tech behind it can still be useful. Really just going for a firestrike every time before you shatter, you get a little bit of all charge back, that's not a bad decision. Like, if you can make sure they get that firestrike, you're already at 10% by the time they're standing back up. That's pretty useful. If you can get it on multiple people, that's really nice. That's a good step towards your next ultimate. If you're going for grab Baptiste window, you get a big 6-man grab playing against Rush, you can just get a firestrike through there, go for a double shatter, use 3 ultimates to handily win the fight, and by the time you're at the next fight, you'll almost have shatter again. You could go into a fight using 3 ultimates, and then the next fight be coming back with 4 ultimates. The potential's pretty crazy, but again, situational. It's just another tool in Reinhardt's kit to use, you know? Same with Walking Shatter, same with Bunnyhop. The Bunnyhop is interesting though. I don't know if anyone knows, or I mean obviously lots of people do, but in case it hasn't been clearly stated out in any video, the timing on the Bunnyhop is you can go for the jump, you jump, and then you press Q right before you hit the ground. There's a little hover. The later you press Q before you touch the ground, or the earlier you press Q without actually going into a jump shatter, the more you hover. Here, let me show you. Here's me pressing Q pretty much when see, there's the little hover. That was the little hover. You can press it a little bit later there and just basically do a almost normal shatter. You can press it a little bit sooner and you'll go into a jump shatter. See, there's the jump shatter. You don't want to do it that early. You want to do it something like maybe. That was a good hover. I'm gonna try to do a shorter hover to see if I can prove my point. I think that was a bit shorter, or maybe I'm just confirmation bias. But basically, that little hover there, that's when you want to press spacebar. It's jump, Q, spacebar. And the later you press spacebar without actually letting the hover finish, the more float you get. You can do it immediately if you want, like that. Or you can get an even longer Bunnyhop by letting the hover go for a second. That was a bit early, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah, let me see if I can do a good one. There we go, that was a really good one. A lot of hang time. So you want to basically maximize the time between your Q press and the jump. As early as possible, Q press, as late as possible, jump, gets maximum hang time. There we go, like that. That was a really good one. You can just skate, you can just float on over, and they can't stop you. It's amazing. Which, I mean, the Bunnyhop is still incredibly useful, even with the Walking Shatter. Like the Walking Shatter, like that one, they're basically two sides of the same coin, opposites, but like great tools. The Bunnyhop is great for going long distances, getting around corners and stuff, you know? Getting behind shields. But it's long hang time. It's a long shatter, long hang time. It can be predicted. That's why it's only for like the crazy, like getting behind them kind of place. Or you can do it off of like ledges like this. You can just float all the way down. The Walking Shatter is just a great day-to-day shatter. Like it's a faster shatter. It's the benefit of a jump shatter with the speed of a normal shatter, and the freedom of neither of them. It's insane. It's just so good. It's gonna be patched. It's definitely gonna be patched. I like this. Like there's a fine line between glitch and tech. I think this one is very much crossing the line into glitch. But it's fascinating, right? It's so cool. Total freedom. You can't freaking stop it. Oh, it's so good. Okay, I think that's all the tech that I have to show off. The 5 shatters. Normal. Jump. Walking. Bunnyhop. And weird altitude changing glitch shatter. Now the timings of these, just to reiterate, walking shatter, 2 in space, exactly the same time. How I learned about this in the first place is I kept messing up the Bunnyhop. I was trying to figure out how it worked, how to do it consistently, and I kept accidentally doing this, which is insane. Oh, and of course, double shatter. Oh, that's so nice. So nifty. That's all the tech I have to show off for this video. I'm excited to see if this is used, if it's patched, probably sometime. I hope this video doesn't cause it all to be patched immediately. I want to see, I hope it's used at least a little bit. And if this is known about, if either of these techs are known about, feel free to tell me. I just haven't seen them before. Hopefully, at the very least, this can get a bit more well known about. Thanks for watching.